morning, good morning, good morning. It took me a while to log on this morning for some reason. I don't know what Facebook is doing, but for some reason it was delaying. Now, listen, I was a little late already. I didn't need for the loading to be going through. But nonetheless, I have made it. To God be the glory. Happy Tuesday to each and every one of you. I pray that you all are well in your minds, your bodies, and your spirits on today. I tell you, today feels like a day I just want to be laid out. I don't really want to be walking up these hills and such. They need to put some park benches over here so folks can just sit out in the morning. That's the way I feel. I feel like I just want to sit. I want to get my vitamin D, but I don't want to be huffing and puffing up these hills trying to get it. But God is good. I'm grateful for another day. I pray that you all are well on today. You're getting your day started, that all is going smoothly. I pray that you woke up feeling rested, because sometimes that be half the battle. When you wake up and you don't feel like you have gotten enough rest. That's one of the reasons why I used to dread at the latter portion when I was working for corporate. I used to dread having to get up by a certain time. Now, after you do it for a while, your body gets accustomed to waking up at a certain time. But for some reason, when my allergies would start to put me in this kind of chokehold, it made it harder and harder to get up. And it seems like towards the end, because I didn't have any excitement, I didn't have any joy about going to work, even though it was virtual. I mean, shoot, it was virtual. You would think, goodness gracious, you ain't got to really fully get dressed. You don't have to be up and socializing and playing and letting people play in your face. So you would think it would have been okay. But nonetheless, when you don't have that joy, it doesn't, give you the excitement to be there. So it just makes it worse. But I thank God for the opportunity to be in charge of my own schedule, even though I'm here with you guys at 8:30. Whether I be wanting to or not, God is like, nope, this is what I got you doing. You got to get up and get out the house for your 8:30 walk. So here I am. Even when my allergies is like, girl, we should be inside, laying up for another hour or so. But here I am. So I say good morning to you all. May the blessings of the Lord be with you. I don't know how long I'm going to be out here. I mean, it's a nice day here in New York City. It's pretty nice. It's not majorly hot. So we've got some reprieve from the way the weather was. We had a lot of rain going on, but I believe it's supposed to, I don't know if the rain is coming back or I don't know if the heat wave is coming back. Truth be told, I prefer the rain over the heat wave. I like summertime, but I don't like it when it's too hot. Good morning, Carol. I don't like it when it's too hot. Days like today is good enough because you can still hit the beach. You can still get in the water if you need to. Days like this is cool. It's just all right. We don't need it no hotter. This is as hot as it should go. Ooh, see all those bugs? I almost walked through a whole hive of gnats. I don't know what's over there that's got them spinning around. But that's the joy of walking in nature. Yeah, Carol, I was having a hard time logging on this morning. For some reason, Facebook kept saying loading. And they had something new came up that said, put in the description. I know the description was there, but it wasn't always like prevalent. But once I put in a title, then then it allowed me to get in. So I don't know if this is something new. You know how they do updates all the time. So I don't know if that's something new where it wants you to put a title. What do you mean you don't see me on my regular place? You should have found me. This is my regular page. I'm not on the business. I'm not on the business page. Tomorrow I'll be on the business page, but after I'm over here. At first I was gonna just go live over there, but I think that might cause a lot of confusion for the people who are accustomed to seeing me on my page. So I'll probably keep doing it on my page, and then once I'm finished, either before or after I do it on my page, I will go live, but just for a short amount of time, maybe like 5-10 minutes, to greet the people and to give the Wellness Wednesday challenge, because we're still doing the Wellness Wednesday challenge. It's not showing me live. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal with that is, Carol. Because I'm live. I'm not pre-recorded. I don't know. I don't know. But like I said, it was doing something new this morning. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened, but I'm here. I'm out getting my walk in. I decided to put my hat on to protect me from the sun rays just a bit. And I hear the lawnmowers going. I be trying to avoid the lawnmowers. Sometimes it's unavoidable, but I be trying to avoid them. But nonetheless, yeah. So yesterday turned into a Broadway production. I ended up going grocery shopping, but I swung by and picked up my mama. So it turns into a whole Broadway production. We be up there just going up and down each aisles and everything. But I was grateful that I was able to get some stuff. So this way, I won't have to be struggling to say what's for dinner and what am I going to eat? Because I'm the problem. You know, my kids will pretty much eat whatever. The youngest one, he frozen pizza, frozen pizza, anything around that kind of nature. He's good with it. The oldest one, he does like cooked food. He's getting to the place where he don't even like those little frozen bag of stuff. He don't really like that. So, um, but he's not particular about what I need to cook. So I can just grab anything as long as I whip it up. He's cool with it. So he's not really the issue. It'd be me. It's me with all of my restrictions and this, that, and the other that don't be knowing what I'm going to eat for the day. So I had to make certain, and I said, Lord, all this money I done spent, I said, is there food in here for me to eat? So one thing I got that was really good, I bought some Dave's Killer Bread. Dave's Killer Bread, and I actually like that brand of bread because one of the things, and I've been teaching you guys about this, one of the things that you have to look out for when you're trying to lose weight, one of the ingredients. So we've got to get into the habit of flipping the product around and looking at the nutritional label. And one of the things that we need to look out for is where it says enriched flour, enriched bleach flour. We've got to look out for that because that's literally in everything. And that's a component, and it's usually the first ingredient. And that's the component that I was doing a little research that they say is what makes you gain weight. So yes, I've got an addiction to bread. No, I cancel that in the name of Jesus. No addictions. Yes, I fancy bread from time to time. I had them laughing when I was at the Nurse Boss Summit at the gala. And the first thing you know, the first thing they bring to the table, no, when you come and you sit down at the gala, the food, like you have the salad is there. They had even had the dessert there, which was funny because there was a little girl there who was starting on the dessert. I was like, girl, she's a girl after my own heart. Like before the food even comes out, and she's like, oh, the dessert's there. Let's eat the desserts. But they had the salad there and the dessert there. Had a piece of cheesecake there, and then they brought out the bread. And I was like, I don't even, and it was covered up. You know how they like they warm it and they cover it up? I said, I don't even want to know what it looks like. I don't even want to get a glimpse out of it because I said I'll have to have two rolls. So I brought my bottle of water out this morning because as I'm out here talking, my voice throat gets dry. But I said to myself, I said, no, we're not even gonna look at it because if we look at it, then we're gonna want it, right? Because your mind can literally tell you what it is it's gonna eat. That's why there's a lot of food commercials out. That's why there's a lot of influencers doing the reels on food. And I've been watching these things. I've been watching them. But now I'm getting stronger where I'm looking at them and I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. So there was this one reel of a food video, and this stuff is there to entice you. And it's just overindulgence. And it's literally killing us. Like all of this propaganda, all of these commercials, all of these reels are really putting the 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 need to overindulge in our minds. And so it's literally our minds that's telling us we need to eat this. It's not even our stomachs. We're not hungry. It's what the images that have been burnt into our heads. So whether you're sitting and you're watching food commercials on TV, or you're sitting on social media looking at the thousands of reels. There was this one reel, there was this one reel. The guy had a baked potato, okay? He had a baked potato. Now, baked potatoes are starchy, but they're not, all the way bad for you. They could be okay. This man took this baked potato, sliced it in half, like not to, separate it, but just sliced it down the middle, right? Like how you would slice it down the middle to put your butter, your sour cream, maybe a little bacon bits, right? That's normally how we top it off. It's crazy, Carol. It really is crazy. So what he did with this baked potato, he dipped it in like an egg wash. He dipped it in flour first. That's what he did. He dipped it in the flour first. A lot of flour. Now, flour, especially that white flour, is big on that enriched bleached flour that we're supposed to be staying away from. But he dips it in that first. Then he put a lot of flour in it too. Then he takes it out of the flour and he dips it in like an egg batter, right? Like an egg, like a mix, like egg batter. Then he takes it out of the egg batter and he dips it in the panko breadcrumbs. And then he deep fries the baked potato, right? So it goes into the oil and it crisps up real nice. Then he tops it with cheese and bacon. I think he even put beef brisket in it and topped it with more cheese. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. This is what people are lusting after. Good morning, Leslie. This is what people are getting their minds fixed on. And you're looking at it and you're like, that looks so good. I don't look at it and say, that looks so good. I look at it and it says, that looks like death. That looks like rapid death. That looks like instant heart attack to me. And I'm like, good God Almighty. I said, Lord, where do you have us? Where do you have us? Like, you sure this ain't hell? I be a little confused sometimes. I'm like, I can't tell if this is earth or if this is what hell looks like. We've gotten so gluttonous that we're no longer eating to live, we're living to eat. Like, I wouldn't even want to sit and eat a full serving of that. Maybe a bite if you just needed to taste it. But no, I couldn't be out here talking about, I need to go get me one of them fried baked potatoes with the brisket and the bacon and the cheese, the double stack of cheese. So a lot of times when I look at this stuff, I just shake my head. I just shake my head and I'm like, Lord, we really got to get stronger in our minds because our minds are the devil's playground. And as we're sitting on social media and we're scrolling through, the devil is taking control over our minds. So that's why I renounced. I said, no, I'm not addicted to bread. Sometimes I let my mind play with me. Sometimes I let the enemy in. But now that I'm conscious of his devices, so we have to be aware of the devices of the enemy. And once you are aware of the devices of the enemy, then you can do better, right? You can do better. You can make better choices. So now that I'm learning more about this enriched, bleached flour, that is the culprit, and it's pretty much in everything. It's pretty much in everything. So you got to turn the labels over and you got to start reading the ingredients. Once something has all of these ingredients, and don't be fooled when you see a lot of vitamin names in the ingredients. Don't be fooled by it because oftentimes they're synthetic vitamins. They're man-made, so they're not naturally occurring in this dish. And I remember as a kid, we used to think Lucky Charms was the bomb. And I'm certain that my parents used to look at the box and say that it got all these vitamins and minerals in it and probably got excited and say, yes, I'm doing something healthy for my kids. But we were bamboozled. We were hoodwinked. We were led astray. Listen, they got us because they put what we wanted to hear on the box, what we wanted to see in order to make us feel good about making this purchase. So vitamins and minerals is a good thing, but not when they're synthetic, not when the ingredients don't have these types of vitamins and nutrients in it, and now they're synthetic. So you'd be better off without them than a synthetic, a man-made version of it, because all of that stuff is making us gain weight. And yes, I get it. There's some people that eat that stuff and they don't gain an ounce. My youngest is like that, baby. He eats the pizzas, the chicken nuggets. He eats all of the unhealthy stuff, the kid stuff that they like. But he doesn't gain an ounce. but that doesn't necessarily mean he's got good health. See, we've gotten into a society where we equate slimness, right, for good health. And that's not always an indicator, because you can have someone who's very slender and they can have high blood pressure and high cholesterol and diabetes, right? All of the things that are, what's the word I want to use? The things that are, God, give me the right words. Because I know what I want to say and it's harsh. I know what I want to say and it's harsh, but it's a reality that I'm seeing. I don't know if you guys are, I mean, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I don't want to be, you know, putting negative thoughts in your head, but I want to make you aware, because this is the stuff that I've had an aha moment on. And I'm like, oh, shoot, I didn't know. And if I didn't know, chances are there's some other people that didn't know. And so they're going to keep up with the bad behavior. So that's why we've got a family history. We've got people in our family. If I say, name somebody that's got diabetes, you could probably rattle off a list. If I say, name somebody that's got high blood pressure, you could rattle off a list. If I say, name somebody that's got high cholesterol, now that one, you might not be able to rattle off a list because nobody's talking about that. Nobody's really going around saying, oh, girl, I got this high blood pressure, this high cholesterol. They'll talk about high blood pressure, but it's not until you see the list of their medications. And one of the things I said that's a good idea to do during the holidays, when the family gets together and everybody's going to be feasting off of this gluttonous meal. This is the day where you get to eat 2 and 3 plates of food and nobody's going to body shame you, right? So I always said, like, during the holidays when everybody's getting together, I said, you should have everybody bring over their medications, because that's when you'll know what the condition is by the medication, right? Because sometimes your family members might not even know what the medicine is for. They might not even know. So that's a good time when everybody's together. It's a good time to get some teaching going on. Even if you don't know it off the top of your head, start researching it and let everybody learn together. So if they're on medications like Lipitor, what was the other one? I think Zocor was another one. Lipitor is a popular one. Diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. God, you still ain't give me the word. But these conditions, I'm not saying that they're man-made, but what I am saying is that man is accelerating them. Society is normalizing them and accelerating them. And because of it, we see it more prevalent. And it's sad because it's like we're predestined for failure. It's like we're predestined to be unhealthy. What would a city gain if everybody was well? I don't know if there's been any movies, depicted of that, where everybody's healthy, everybody's well. We would probably profit a whole lot more. But unfortunately, the way hell is set up, The profit is generated by when people are sick. They want us to be obese. That's why all you see is those reels with the food. And it's like they be in a competition to see who can make the wildest dish, who can make the craziest dish. I've never heard of that, Leslie. The Bobby app. Yes, chronic condition. These are the chronic conditions. So diabetes, obesity, high blood pressure. These are the chronic conditions. And even cancer. We always walking around talking about F cancer, but you ain't saying F them hot dogs. You're not saying F that greasy food. You indulging it. So the nerve of you to say F cancer. You're not saying F those toxic body washes and dish detergents. I remember one time when I was doing the lunch and learn, I was looking at the ingredients to my bar soap. Now I used a particular brand of bar soap for ages. I mean, ages. I grew up using it in my parents' house. I loved it. Then they even had the nerve to get fancy with the scents. And I just knew I was doing something good because one of the scents had like pomegranate. It was like a cranberry pomegranate scent. And I just knew I was doing something so spectacular for my skin. I'm giving my skin the cranberry and pomegranate soap. One day I was researching some soap. I don't even know how I got upon it, but it was something that I just stumbled into. So I started researching the soap. Come to find out that the soap that I loved, whether it was the antibacterial one or whether it was the original one or whether it was the fancy cranberry and pomegranate one, whatever it was, they contained ingredients that um, promoted asthma. Now, mind you, one of my babies was asthmatic, and this is the soap I bathe him in every night. Ain't nobody ever tell me. The doctors never told me, well, what kind of products are you using at home, Mom? No, they just gave the albuterol, they just gave the steroids, which was so detrimental to him. And I had to get wise and say, no more steroids. No more steroids. Then they look at you like you a bad mom because you don't want the medication that they want to give you. But never once did the doctor ever examine the environment. And the environment is what's killing us. But we don't say F the environment. So what kind of a world do we live in? What kind of a world do we live in where we want to say F the chronic disease, but we don't want to say F the stuff that causes it? We don't want to say F the people that is making it prevalent in our society. It's just easy for us to blame a disease, to hate on a disease for taking away your loved one. But you never think about the foods that are around. I remember this was years ago. There was a rapper, Fife Dog. I used to love me some Fife Dog from Tribe Called Quest. Dude was like in his 40s, 30s, 40s, early 40s, I believe. And he died of diabetes. And when I heard that, I was like, diabetes? Who who dying of diabetes? I'm like, what kind of craziness is that? When the secret is your diet, your exercise, and your weight management. Those are the doggone secrets. I'm like, how is somebody dying of diabetes? But when nobody's teaching you, I feel like this is a Wellness Wednesday topic, right? But if nobody's teaching you, if nobody's advising you, if nobody's asking the right questions, I think the doctors don't even ask the right questions. They just take the measurements and they just start prescribing the medications. And one of the things that I learned as a nurse, and again, don't run and take my story as the gospel, research it yourself. Come on, Leslie, you talking right. You are talking right. And one of the things that I found out about these medications that they don't tell you, and again, like I said, research it yourself. You ain't gotta, like, I'm not out here trying to tell you what to believe, but I do want to spark the conversation for you to start being a self advocate, the conversation for you to start advocating for your family and your loved ones, the conversation to start for you to have with your doctor. And one of the things I love about the new wellness encounter, and it's coming out tomorrow in case you didn't know, the new wellness encounter has blogs attached to it. So it's giving you a deep dive and a learning of certain topics, right? Certain topics that are hot topics. And one of the sections in the blog gives you conversation starters with your doctor. Because oftentimes we don't even know what to say, what questions to ask. So if you know you've got a family member that needs to be empowered in this way, you need to send them to shaniquainspires.com and let them sign up so that they don't miss out on this wealth of knowledge. But a lot of times we don't know even what to say to the doctor. We don't know what questions to ask. And the new Wellness Encounter blog is giving you those questions. Okay. Leslie said that there's some new California warnings on products. There's a lot of products that have warnings, especially in other countries where Asia bans them and Canada bans them, but yet they're allowed here. The cereals that we love to eat, the Lucky Charms, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the Frosted Flakes. These are the things, the cereals that we love. They taste so good. And I'm guilty. I got a box of Lucky Charms in my house. Now, I don't eat it. My oldest likes it. But there was a time when I wouldn't even buy it, because there was some type of documentary that was out that said that there was all of this bad stuff in it. So I stopped buying it. But that's what they would always request. They would always want the Lucky Charms and the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Now, as an adult, I'm like, all right, let me just tell you about this stuff. And now you got to make the decision. But these are the things that are allowed here in the United States. That's what leads me to believe that we're living in hell. I don't know. I don't know. But it leads me to believe that this is no longer earth. This is a hell that is against us. And we've got to be cognitively aware. We've got to be conscious. We've got to be educated. We got to be woke in order to stay away from these things. Now, am I saying I'm perfect? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But I'm trying, right? I'm learning and I'm trying. I'm making baby steps. And guess what? Trying is still doing. But if you out here eating deep fried baked potatoes with brisket and bacon and double helping of cheese on top, well, God help you. And ain't nobody gonna be sitting around at your funeral talking about F diabetes and F high blood pressure. No, no. We should be saying shame to the industry that put out this propaganda that we constantly are being fed. So I went on this rant. I went on this rant talking about the enriched white flour. And I was telling you guys I bought the Dave's Killer Bread. That's where I was. I'm glad I landed back there, right? What I like about the Dave's Killer Bread is that when you read the ingredients, you understand the ingredients. They also don't have 20 million ingredients, right? They, they keep it simple. They keep it real simple. And it doesn't have that enriched. It doesn't start with enriched. Anything that starts with enriched, that means it's synthetic. That means it's fake. It means it's gonna be the death, right? It's bringing the death. I just look at it like that. So I bought that bread, and it was the raisin bread. Top that thing with some avocados, bought some fresh avocados, and of course I hit it with that Mrs. Dash everything bagel seasoning. Come on, somebody, that was a good little snack. So it's about finding healthy alternatives. And yes, I was mad they didn't have no popcorners. But that was the Lord probably saying, girl, you don't need them popcorners. You don't need them popcorners. You need something without that enriched white flour. So what I say to you all is to start reading the food labels. That's all I want you to start with. I don't even want you to make the choice to not buy the stuff. Keep buying what you like, doing what you do, but just at least read the food labels. What I've discovered from reading the food labels is that there's a bread that is supposedly it's marketed as better. It's a keto friendly bread. It's keto friendly. It's supposedly low in this, low in this. It's got fiber and all of the stuff that you know that you're supposed to need. Come to find out, the regular bread actually is better. The regular bread is actually better because it has less of the stuff that we need it to have less in. So what? It's got more fiber. You know, you can get fiber and other stuff other than your bread, right? So it is about reading and comparing and just getting into the habit to see what you're really eating and doing a little research. So yes, I was in the supermarket, and that's why it was a Broadway production, because I'm in there reading labels, and I had my glasses on, my driving glasses on, so I have to take them off in order to read what the label is really saying. I don't want to be bamboozled because I got my glasses on and I can't see I can't see. Those glasses are for distances. So now it's up in my face and I can't really see it. So I had to take the glasses down So I was in there looking like the librarian with the glasses on my nose. But I was going to read and I was going to compare. So that's why grocery shopping becomes a Broadway production, because I'm in there trying to make the better choices. Yes, I bought the Krispy Kreme donuts. They're not for me, though. I won't eat the stuff. But I get them from my son because when he's bulking, they're high calories. And I know I can put down at least 2 or 3 donuts. And I only bought the 3 because when I buy the 6, he's slow at eating them. And then I be tempted to eat them. But I tell myself it's not worth it. This is not a part of the journey that I want to be in. So I stay away from them, not because I don't like them, because I do. Because they're really not conducive to where it is I'm trying to go. Very good, Leslie. Good morning, Jamari. So I just want to get you with it at the forefront of your brain, right? I just want you to put it at the forefront of your brain. I want you to start thinking about the food labels. Because yes, they're on there. So they'll say, well, they knew the risk. They knew the risk. That's what they said. The cigarette companies said. That's why the cigarette companies got banned for having commercials, because the commercials were enticing people to buy the cigarettes. But they don't tell people that they got broken glass, tar, and all sorts of impurities in them. So you're lighting them up, you're putting flame to it, and now you're smoking in death. But they don't tell you that. But there's a reason why the government finally said that they had to stop advertising them. Because what they were doing, they were marketing them, and kids were glorifying them. So once something bothers the kids, then that's the spearhead for the government to start saying, no, we care about the kids. No, we care about the kids. I told you guys there was a raid on one of the bodegas over here, and they said that they had an illegal amount of cannabis and mushrooms. So the mushrooms, like the psychedelic mushrooms, there was an illegal amount of them. And they got rid of the location because it was being marketed to the kids. But yet they walk right past the Doritos. Yet they walk right past the Oreos. They walk past all the other stuff that are killing the kids, and they worried about what somebody got in the back. Now, I'm not saying that I'm an advocate for somebody having cannabis and the psychedelic mushrooms. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is you picking and choosing. You picking and choosing. Because honestly, the chips, the soda, all of the stuff that gets marketed to kids, that stuff is killing the kids slowly. So we mad because the drugs will do it faster. The drugs will get them addicted. So we mad when they addicted to drugs, but when they addicted to sugar and they can't function in school without their sugar, nobody's saying nothing. We got this thing backwards. This is backwards. It's backwards. But we have to start being advocates for ourselves, because apparently nobody else is going to advocate for us. So I just stopped by to plant that little seed in your head. And make certain you check out the Wellness Encounter. If you're not signed up, go to shaniquainspires.com. That's SHENIQUA inspires with the S at the end.com. And get signed up. Do that today if you're not already on there. Do that today because it comes out tomorrow. And so we want to make certain that we've got all of this information and we're getting all of this and we're sharing it. We're telling people they need to sign up for this newsletter. They need to sign up for the newsletter because the people are perishing because they don't have the knowledge. And the knowledge is there and it shouldn't be a secret. Shouldn't be a secret. It should be publicly known so that we start to save ourselves and our own societies. We're not waiting for Batman and Robin or Superman. We're going to save ourselves. Oh, thank you. That's probably because I'm covered up. It's hot too. This hat makes you sweat. But God is good. All right, you guys, I got to get myself together. I got a client call this morning, so I got to get myself together quick. So I'll see y'all tomorrow, God willing. And if you go out, you buy something, you pick it up, look at the food label. And then just start researching what that food label, what those ingredients mean before you make the decision to purchase it. All right? You all be blessed. Have a good day. Be safe. And I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Hi everyone, Dr. Shaniqua Johnson here, aka Shaniqua Inspires. I warmly extend an invitation to each of you to explore my website, shaniquainspires.com. Here you can discover a wealth of inspiration through my books, or whether you're seeking to unlock your peak potential with my personalized accountability coaching, or searching for an inspirational speaker for your next event. I'm here to assist you. Let's connect and discuss how we can work together to achieve your goals. Goodbye for now.